Snoop Dogg was prevented from boarding a plane first class due to his skin color. What he did next will make you cry. The luxury of first class was nothing new to Snoop Dogg. As one of the most iconic figures in the entertainment industry, he was used to the finer things in life. Yet, on this day, what should have been a simple first-class flight turned into an unforgettable lesson about humanity and dignity. The bustling airport lounge was filled with travelers from all walks of life. Snoop, dressed in a sharp black suit with his signature gold chain glinting under the lights, approached the boarding gate. He was calm, a vision of poise and confidence. But that calm was about to be tested. "Excuse me, sir." A crisp, authoritative voice called out just as he handed over his boarding pass. Snoop turned, meeting with the stern gaze of a flight attendant. Her name tag read Clara, but her expression bore no warmth. "I'm sorry, but I need to verify your ticket." Snoop raised an eyebrow, his easy smile never faltering. "Is there a problem?" he asked, holding up his first-class boarding pass. Clara's eyes flicked to the pass and back to him. "First-class boarding is reserved for eligible passengers," she stated, her tone clipped. "You'll need to step aside." The room seemed to pause. Gas rippled through the line behind him as travelers recognized who was being questioned. Snoop's fans murmured among themselves, some pulling out their phones to record the unfolding scene. Snoop took a deep breath, his composure steady. "Ma'am, I am eligible. My ticket says first class." Clara hesitated, her face flushing slightly. But instead of apologizing, she doubled down. "There's been a misunderstanding. We have protocols, and you must follow them." The insinuation was clear, and it cut deep. Snoop knew the unspoken words behind her tone. So did everyone watching. What would you do in his shoes? The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional beep of a boarding scanner. Snoop's longtime manager, who was standing nearby, stepped forward. "This is absurd," he said, his voice low but firm. "Do you know who this is?" "I'm following procedure," Clara shot back, though her confidence wavered under the weight of dozens of eyes. "Runes are runes." Snoop held up a hand, stopping. His manager, "Nah, let her speak," he said, his voice smooth but tinged with an edge. "Go on, ma'am. Explain your rules." Clara hesitated again, realizing the crowd had grown. But instead of backing down, she gestured toward the economy line. "You can board with Group C. This is for first class." The audacity stunned everyone. People whispered furiously, and some even shouted protests. On Snoop's behalf, one young boy in the crowd looked up at his mother and asked, "Why are they treating him like that? Isn't he famous?" Snoop's heart broke a little at the question. He crouched down to the boy's level and smiled warmly. "Sometimes, little man," he said softly, "people forget how to treat others. But we gotta remind them with kindness, you dig?" The boy nodded solemnly, and Snoop stood tall again. Clara was visibly uncomfortable now, but Snoop remained calm. "Let me show you something," he said, pulling out his phone. A quick search revealed a list of his accolades. Multi-platinum albums, charity work, even photos of him with presidents and dignitaries. He held the phone up for Clara to see. "You see this? None of it matters if I can't be treated like everyone else." Clara's face turned crimson, but she didn't respond. And then Snoop did the unimaginable. Instead of arguing, he stepped aside and said, "You know what? I'll board with Group C. It ain't about the seat, it's about respect." The crowd gasped. His humility struck a chord with everyone. Watching, fans shouted their support, and some even booed the airline staff. But Snoop waved them off, his demeanor calm and forgiving. As he waited for Group C to be called, something incredible happened. One by one, passengers and first class stepped out of line. "I'll wait with Snoop," a woman said, clutching her designer handbag. "Me too," said a businessman in a tailored suit. Within minutes, the first-class line had emptied, leaving Clara speechless. The message was clear. Solidarity knows no class boundaries. When it was finally Snoop's turn to board, the pilot himself emerged from the cockpit. His face was apologetic as he extended a hand. "Mr. Dogg, on behalf of the airline, I deeply apologize for this misunderstanding. Please let me personally escort you to your seat." Snoop shook his head, his voice steady. "It ain't about me, man. It's about everyone who looks like me and gets treated like this daily. You gotta do better." The cabin erupted in applause. Passengers cheered as Snoop finally took his rightful place in first class. But the lesson lingered in the air. Later, on social media, Snoop shared the experience in a heartfelt post. "Today reminded me why we gotta keep fighting for respect and equality. No one's above anyone else. Treat people with love and the world will be a better place." His words went viral, sparking a global conversation about bias and humanity. And as for Clara, she reportedly resigned days later, leaving behind a powerful reminder that prejudice has no place in the skies or anywhere else. What do you think of Snoop's response? Let us know in the comments. If you've watched this far, comment which country you're watching from and leave a 100 in the comment section, because you are a type of person that likes to finish what they started. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to get notified whenever we drop new videos.